Hi everyone, Ed Griffin here from the Dublin City Council IBA Start Box Programme. Delighted to have Andy Lee here to have a chat about how he got started in boxing and other stuff about his career. Hi Andy, how's it going?
Grand Ed, how are you?
Not too bad. Can you just tell everybody how you got involved in boxing the first day you stepped foot in the club?
I started boxing very young age because my older brothers boxed. And I just wanted to follow them into the gym and be like them. You know, my dad was taking them anyway. So I would always tag along and get in the car and go along to the club.
And what age would you have been around then?
For as long as I can remember really, but I think I probably started training when I was about 8 years old.
Right, okay.
But I was always eager to get started, Probably shadow boxing before I was, before I was allowed to actually.
And come here, do you remember your first, not a competitive on a card fight, do you remember your first ever fight in the ring?
Back then we used to have like gym shows where there was no winner, no loser, and but everything else was the exact same as the contest. And I remember it very clearly. I was very nervous. And but very determined too.
Right, okay,
Like I said, eager to get going, so I probably would have been about 10 at that time.
And come here, did you ever, like when you started boxing, I know a lot of the kids we work with don't have like a connection to someone that's boxed before, so would you ever be in a stage where you sort of said, you know what, well, maybe I'm not too good at this, or you felt unsure of your abilities?
I was one of 4 brothers who all boxed, and they were all skinny and tall, and I was short and fat.
Right.
So everyone just overlooked me, and I never really got any chance, And everyone would say, oh yeah, he'll be good, and he'll be good, And I was the one who was like that. So that, that made me even more determined, I think. And I used to always train a little bit harder because no one gave me any chance. And there are times when you might have doubts, and there are days when when I was a kid and I didn't want to do it, but I knew it was the right thing. I knew it was good for me. And after I finished training, I always felt great.
Right.
So even though you might not want to do it at the start, you might be a bit tired, or you might not be motivated, but once you get it done, you feel even better because you've obviously done the training and you push yourself through it.
Yeah, exactly. Come here, your first, when you started boxing competitively, we'd say when you're 11 years old, when did you sort of realise, I'm actually not too bad at this?
Again, I don't think it was until I was about 14, 15.
Right.
Even though I'd won some national titles, you're still always compared to your brothers. And the other lads in the club who were always better, you know. But I don't know, I just think you have to be determined yourself, and just try to keep winning, and then if you're good, you'll be good. You know what I mean?
You're floating.
So, but everyone can box to their own level, as well. You don't have to be at the top to do it, you know what I mean? And there's different levels for different people. Like there were some lads who'd be so happy just winning the regional, winning to be the Munster Championship. That was their goal, and that was it for them. So it depends what your goals are. But mine was always going to be
the top. You were very successful as a juvenile, and you went to the World Junior Championships. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
I fought it was 2002, the under 18s, and I went there as part of the Irish team. It was in Cuba, and it was very tough. I had 5 fights in a week. The humidity and the level of competition was extreme, and the weather was fighting in those conditions was just as hard as fighting the opponents. And I won. I lost in the final to the Cuban, but by the time I reached it, I was kind of physically spent, probably emotionally drained as well, because of first of all winning the medal, then going back out again and fighting the next day against the American, and then the next day going back into the Cuban. But there was no bad decision. He did beat me, but I was quite happy with the silver medal after not at the time.
So come here, you moved on, we'll say, from junior level. Like a lot of boxers, even that I'd see around the scene and stuff like that, to transition from under 18 to intermediate or and seniors, it was elite now. How did you find that transition?
I found it quite seamless because my style, I was quite good technically, and I think if you're very good technically, you can transition quite easily because
If you're not reliant on strength.
Yeah, young fighters in the juveniles, you'll see a lot of the winners will be just the stronger, mature kids, because everyone matures at a different rate.
Yeah.
But the technically better boxers will succeed later on in life when the maturity and the physical strength evens out.
Yeah.
Now, if going from fighting 18-year-olds to going to fighting men who are in their 30s is tough, because there's that physical strength, and you found by the last round you're always very tired. But I think if you practice your basics every day, the simple things, doing the simple things right, like simple jabs, 1-2, step back, feints, and get very good at those. Yeah. In the long run, they'll stand to you.
You find some sort of coaches overcomplicate stuff maybe sometimes, or it's just the simple things that really work the best.
The best boxers do the simple things correct. Yeah. And they're usually the ones who win. Yeah.
So when you box as an elite champion, then you were successful enough to go to the Olympics in Athens, and you just describe the experience of. Well, first of all, it must be a really proud moment to represent your country at the Olympics.
It was, yeah, and qualifying was quite tough in those days. I went to the European Championships and I qualified there, won a bronze medal, and it was great to be there, but it was tough being the only representative because there was no one to train with and no one to. Yeah. You know, Kenneth Egan did come to the training camp with me, but when I was in the Olympics, I was by myself, and
that must have been tough.
Yeah, it was tough, but it was still an honour to be there, and it was nice to. In some ways, it was nice to be the only one because you were getting all the attention as well. No, it was a great achievement and a great experience, and something that I'll always remember. Yeah. And it was nice.
And come here, would you have any? You moved on then after the Athens Olympics into the professional side of the sport. How did that come about? Like, just for people that wouldn't have an idea, like, were you approached by people, or were you given offers, or what was the story there?
Yeah, I was approached by a couple of people, but the main one who approached me was Emmanuel Stewart, who's a famous trainer from Crunch in Detroit, and it was a real wake-up call then. Even for me at that stage, the Olympics was my only goal, and never really considered turning pro. But when somebody like that comes, you start to have second thoughts about staying amateur, and
well, he's such a legend. He would have seen something new.
Yeah, but I was very fortunate because I had Emmanuel and I had other people involved in my career, Damien McCann, who were very, very good, very, very trustworthy. Yeah. And also, they gave me a certain amount of money at the start. Yeah. And I'd say for anybody who's considering turning pro, it's a hard game. It's a very hard game. You're living from fight to fight. Yeah. And a lot of times fights are getting cancelled, opponents are pulling out. So it's a very hard way to make a living. Yeah. You'll see a lot of fighters now, unless they're at the absolute top of the sport, they have day jobs.
How did you find these, like, going from an amateur to a professional mentally, like, where as an amateur you're boxing quite regularly throughout the year, like, to go professional, you might be boxing twice a year. Like, how do you keep the motivation going?
I would, like, as in my first few years I was fighting like 6 to 8 times, so it was kind of different. Yeah. But I was just like making the point of that I wouldn't encourage anyone to turn pro. If they're doing well as amateurs, unless they have a really good offer or people they can trust behind them, I think it's an incredibly hard career, for anybody.
So come here, you challenged for your first world title, I think it was the WBC title against Chavez, was it?
Yeah,
that was 2012, yeah. So how did that go?
I lost the fight. It was a tough fight. One fight which I wasn't prepared for. I was prepared physically, but I don't think I had the skill set or the mentality to deal with everything that was going on within the fight and outside of the fight. And so after that, I knew that I had to upskill and still try to improve, So unfortunately, my coach and manager then, Emmanuel, passed away. Yeah. And I went to Adam Booth in London, and Adam identified my weaknesses pretty early, and those are the things I started to work on. Yeah. And because when you reach it, when you get so kind of comfortable, you work only on your strengths, and sticking to what you're good at. And with Adam, it was a complete reverse, where I was working on things I weren't good at, and solely focusing.
Did you realise you weren't good at them?
No, I didn't win the world title, and I wasn't good enough to win. So something had to be, something had to be right. It was wrong, so I had to right some wrongs.
But you rectified that a few years later. You became
yeah.
world champion then. It's Kobarov, wasn't it?
Yeah, Karabov, yeah.
Kobarov, yeah, sorry. What was that like, the feeling of...
It was a great achievement because it was all of the sacrifice, all the work I'd done from being a kid, running along with my older brothers and tagging along and wanting to spar, being a fat kid, you know, going to the Olympics, not winning a medal, fighting for the world title, missing out, and then eventually getting my second chance and taking it. You know, it was.
I think if you hadn't won one, a lot of people would have said like it would have been an injustice. Like,
well, yeah, I know, but you have to win it anyway. You know, it's like you have to you get what you deserve, and if you're good enough, you deserve it. You know, and sometimes you can get an easier world title by fighting somebody who's not up there. You know, there were some guys who get hand-picked opponents, but I went into the fight, I was 6-1 underdog. I was losing on all the cards, and then I got caught him with a shot and stopped him. And,
great.
Yeah, took my chance.
Come here, tell us this. You retired, quite young. Like, have you ever felt a pang? Like, no, that's the end of it.
Yeah. When it's over, it's over. You know, that's and the hunger's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And that's it. Once the hunger goes, you don't have that same drive.
Yeah. You see some boxers when they come back, and you can see it's purely for the money. Like they're probably just down on their luck and stuff like that.
The money and the attention and
all that stuff.
They want to be recognised as a boxer, or the recognition from the people on the street, and who are you if your boxing's not in your life? What do you do? How do you identify yourself? And I don't know. I guess I'm just a dad now.
More around it. So come here, just before we wrap up there, have any words of encouragement maybe for the kids that are watching that, like they're in lockdown at the minute, maybe how to keep positive?
There's even now that you're in lockdown, you can still be improving on your boxing you can talk to, if you got access to your coaches, talking to them, and find out what you're not good at, what your weaknesses are. You can ask your coach, have an honest conversation with them. And even if there's some things that you don't like doing, work on those things. And then when lockdown eases, you come back, you will be an improved fighter. Yeah, well, that's great. That's great advice there. Thanks very much, Andy. And so guys, we'll see you next week for another interview. Thanks very much to Andy. See you again.